You are inbound to pick up a 38-year-old male patient. Patient was doused in gas and set on fire, has full thickness burns to 63% of his body, including torso, front and back, both arms, one leg.
Say Councilman Lee Vogler was doused in gasoline and then set on fire. We have live team coverage on these breaking developments.
Yeah, we begin with ABC 13's Cherise Hoffman, who's live outside the scene in Danville on Main Street.
Yes, that attack happened right here outside of Lee Vogler's private office here at Showcase Magazine. And Danville police say that they usually do not name victims in cases like this, but because Lee Vogler is an elected official and a huge part of the community, they did. Now, Danville police say that this happened at around 11:30 this morning on the 700 block of Main Street. They say the suspect, Shotzi Buck Hayes, confronted Vogler at his office and doused him with gasoline, and he ended up setting him on fire outside. Hayes left the scene. However, he was later found and arrested by police not too far away. Now, we're not sure how serious Vogler's injuries are right now, but he was airlifted to a burn unit in UNC Chapel Hill and has been treated there. As for the suspects, he is being charged with attempted first-degree murder and malicious wounding. Live in Danville, Cherise Hoffman, ABC 13 News.
And Vogler has had a big impact on the River City for years. In fact, he grew up in Danville.
ABC 13's Sarah Weitzman joins us live with what he means to the area.
Lee Vogler has served on city council since 2012. He was actually the youngest to ever be elected at just 24 years of age. He is the chair of the Regional Industrial Facility Authority and is managing partner at Andrew Brooks Media Group. Vogler also works at Showcase Magazine, where the attack happened earlier today. A worker at a neighboring business tells me he was surprised to learn it was a councilman who was attacked.
It was definitely very shocking. I can definitely say for a lot of people here, we actually had close ties with him and the family.
And the way that ended up happening didn't even get brought.
Vogler's colleagues, both in his business life and with the city, are calling on the community to keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And if you know Lee Vogler, you know he calls this place, Danville, the comeback city, and himself the comeback kid, as a testament to the resilience and utter devotion he has for here. Reporting live in Danville, Sarah Weitzman, ABC 13 News.
Now, this horrific attack is shaking communities across the state and the nation.
ABC 13's Hayden Robertson is live here in the studio with us with reaction that's pouring in on social media and from one of Vogler's friends in Lynchburg.
Dana, Noreen, here in the Commonwealth, Governor Glenn Youngkin took to X about what has happened. He wrote, quote, "Our prayers go out to Danville City Councilman Lee Vogler, who was violently attacked at his workplace earlier today. We pray for a swift recovery for Lee and peace beyond the entire Danville community." Now, Democratic governor candidate and former Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger also took to X saying, quote, "I'm horrified by today's attack against a sitting public servant in Danville. Adam and I are praying for Councilman Lee Vogler, his family, and the entire Danville community." And Republican candidate for governor Winsome Sears said, "Please join me in praying for Councilman Lee Vogler and for his family. We stand with Danville and support a full investigation into this attack." I also spoke to Lynchburg City Councilman Chris Feraldi. Feraldi and Vogler have been friends for a while now. Feraldi tells me he sees Vogler as a mentor since they both serve on city councils in their areas. Feraldi tells me this whole incident has him shaken up.
Barbaric, shocking, horrific, evil. It's really hard to put words around it, to give some sense of what happened today. And man, I'm just praying more than anything else he and his family are okay.
Feraldi says he and Vogler support each other and always talk different ideas to help better their communities. Feraldi also tells me he hopes the suspect, Shotzi Michael Buck Hayes, is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Back to you.
Danville Mayor Alonzo Jones put out a statement about the attack. It reads in part, "Our council is close. We've worked through challenges together, and now we face this heartbreak together. Please continue to pray for Lee and his family." Police say Lee Vogler was attacked at his workplace earlier today.
We have live team coverage for you tonight from the River City. First, let's go to ABC 13's Cherise Hoffman. Cherise, you just spoke to one of Vogler's colleagues on Danville City Council.
Pat, I did. Yeah, Reverend Larry Campbell told me that this is truly a sad day for our community here in Danville and that their hearts are hurting. Danville police say that this happened this morning at around 11:30 at Vogler's private office on Main Street. They say Shotzi Buck Hayes came in, confronted him, and doused him with gasoline. He later set him on fire outside. Campbell tells me it's time for the Danville community to come together.
Tonight, we're learning more about the crime and the man charged in the attack of Lee Vogler. ABC's 13's Sarah Weitzman is live for us tonight at the courthouse where Shotzi Buck Hayes went before a judge today, Sarah.
29-year-old Shotzi Buck Hayes showed up to court this morning. He asked the judge to get him a court-appointed lawyer, and I also got my hands on this criminal complaint. In this complaint, police say that they took him into custody and interviewed him after a traffic stop. This all happened shortly after the attack yesterday. And during the interview, Buck Hayes admitted that he dumped gasoline onto Lee Vogler. He went on to say he was trying to kill him in the fiery attack. And I went to the Danville neighborhood where Buck Hayes lived today to learn more about the man now facing attempted murder charges.
I was shocked. I don't know how a human being could do that to another, an animal even.
Nancy Edwards says no one expected anything like this. She tells me she met him years ago when his now ex-wife brought him to Danville after studying abroad in England. Today, through court records, I learned the couple's divorce was filed July 14th, so just a couple weeks ago. Tonight, Buck Hayes is being held in Danville City Jail under no bond, and we do not know when he'll be in court next. Reporting live in Danville, Sarah Weitzman, ABC 13 News.
ABC 13's Pat Simon is back with us now, live on Main Street in Danville, and some of our senators and lawmakers are actually weighing in on this.
That's right, Noreen and Danner, both Senators Mark Warner and Tim Kaine, telling us that they were horrified by the news when they found out. And in fact, both men said that they knew Lee Vogler, they met him, and they condemned what they call these horrific attacks. Now, Senator Kaine says that when the news rang out in Washington, D.C. about Vogler and what happened here in Danville, everyone was just shocked there at our nation's capital. He says that it doesn't matter what position you hold, no one deserves to go through this. And Warner echoed Kaine, calling the attack horrific.
The basic attack itself was a brutal crime, and the perpetrator should be prosecuted.
I was really heartsick when I heard about it. I've met Lee, a number of times when I've been in Danville.
This kind of fallback.
Now, Kaine says that he is sending thoughts and prayers to Vogler and his family, and they're hoping for a quick recovery. The senator says that he knows from past experience how painful that these wounds can be. Now, these senators are not the only ones who are speaking out against this attack. And in fact, from leaders from Danville to even our own Governor Youngkin, they condemn this attack and they hope for a speedy recovery for Vogler. We're live in Danville. I'm Pat Simon, ABC 13 News.
Yeah, he remains in the hospital tonight. Still no word on his condition. ABC 13's Pat Simon is live in Danville. And Pat, you've learned something about the crime itself.
Yeah, we can tell you right now, Noreen and Danner, that police say we know where and what happened yesterday. We just don't know why. We know that Vogler was attacked yesterday morning about 11:30 right here at Showcase Magazine inside this office building by an attacker who is now in jail tonight. Let's take a look at the criminal complaint that was filed. It says today that the suspect, Shotzi Buck Hayes, confessed to police that he set Vogler on fire and that he wanted to kill him. And police say that it was a personal matter, unrelated to Vogler's position on city council. However, they're still working to find out exactly what dispute drove Buck Hayes to violence. Today, we spoke with a criminologist about just how rare these types of attacks are. Dr. Todd Burke is a criminologist and former police officer. He says arson is the willful and malicious burning of property, but it's an unusual weapon to use on another person. According to Burke, lighting someone on fire could represent a personal motive. It could mean revenge or intimidation.
Usually the people will know one another. They're in close association. But again, they're wrong as they see it, that they were wronged, could be real or it could be perceived.
Burke says lighting someone on fire can also be a hate crime against someone's race, gender, political, or religious beliefs. He also says mental health issues could play a role as well. But Burke also says that we can't really know the true motive behind what Buck Hayes did until he says it himself. We'll have another update for you tonight on ABC 13 News at 7. We're live in Danville. I'm Pat Simon, ABC 13 News. Hearing more tonight from Danville city leaders, those people who knew him, who love Lee Vogler. And that's where we find ABC 13's Charisse Hoffman, who spoke to some of those officials today to get their reaction. Charisse.
If you live in Danville, one person you know is Lee Vogler. He's always around, whether it be a groundbreaking, ribbon cutting, or community engagement event. And I know firsthand from working with him for the past 2 years. And the community is just stunned that something like this would happen to him. Vogler has served on city council since 2012. He's been a proud and strong advocate for the people of Danville and the city's growth. From the renovation of the old white mill, making sure the community benefits from the Caesars casino funds, and lowering the tax burden for citizens, and so much more. City Council says that Vogler's council family is hurting. Today I caught up with Councilman Brian Hood, and he tells me they're like brothers and that this is heartbreaking.
The fact that we're all so close is that we do pray for one another. I just came from under the weather from an emergency surgery, and the council members truly uplifted me throughout this whole time. So we're in constant prayer for this ordeal too. So we're putting it all in God's hands.
Vogler on fire.
Yesterday, Mayor Alonzo Jones shared it's close. We've worked through challenges together, and now we face this heartbreak together. Please continue to pray for Lee and his family. We're standing with him and with each other. Vogler is currently being treated at the UNC Chapel Hill Burn Center. ABC 13 has reached out for an update on his condition, but we have not yet heard back. Live in Danville, Charisse Hoffman, ABC 13 News.
ABC 13's Pat Simon is back live on scene in Danville. And Pat, first responders say Lee Vogler had burns on 63% of his body. You found out kind of what recovery is going to look like.
Absolutely, Danner and Noreen. Vogler is now at the UNC Burn Center at Chapel Hill. He's receiving treatment right now, and his road to recovery, we're told, could be long and could be a very rough one. So let's give you an idea of what that recovery will look like. The medical director of the HCA Chippenham Burn Center in Richmond tells us that this is a very severe injury, and because Vogler was reportedly doused in gasoline, his burns were made worse. Gas is an accelerant, which makes the flame heat up even more and get deeper into your skin. And we're told that Vogler will most likely be in the hospital for a few months. He'll be receiving possibly dozens of surgeries and skin grafts before going to rehab.
This is going to be kind of a lifelong battle for any patient suffering that extent of burns as far as scars go and management of these injuries, even after the acute phase is over.
Drake says Vogler will be getting scar revision surgeries and laser therapy. He will experience some pain and itching for months and years to come. However, he says some burn patients with this level of severity can actually have remarkable recoveries and go back to doing the things that they did before. Live in Danville, I'm Pat Simon, ABC 13 News. Following the breaking news out of Danville now, City Councilman Lee Vogler was doused in gasoline and set on fire.
Vogler is currently at UNC getting treatment. Officials say he has burns to more than 60% of his body.
Many in the community and around the country are just heartbroken by this attack.
Yes, ABC 13's Hayden Robertson spent the evening taking the pulse of the community and joins us now live from Danville. Hayden.
Pat and Noreen, a lot of people that I spoke to tonight tell me they are completely shaken and devastated by what's happened here in the city. But if you tell somebody or say Lee Vogler's name, the automatic response is that he's a Danville boy who's passionate about his city and its people.
You were inbound to pick up a 38-year-old male patient. Patient was doused in gas and set on fire.
The big question on everybody's mind right now is why? Why was Lee Vogler attacked in his office and set on fire?
I was completely shocked that something like that would happen here in Danville. You heard about that in the national news.
It kind of hit me hard because he's a great part of the community, and I like, when he comes by, we stop by, talk, and laugh, and joke with us.
Michael Costner lives in Danville. When he found out Vogler was the one attacked, his heart sank.
He's such a nice guy. I can't imagine anybody doing any ill harm to him. His face just came to mind, and his kindness came to mind, and that's what he did for us here.
Costner says Vogler is committed to making Danville the best place to live and work. He says it's because of his support that he and his son were able to open the River City Arcade.
He's been here 4 or 5 times at least with his kids playing games. He's very supportive of us.
And just a walk down the sidewalk sits Mr. Bentley's Deli. Councilman Vogler was there just 2 weeks ago celebrating their grand opening.
Seeing Lee come through the doors, he always been supportive everywhere in the community. He's always, you know, whenever somebody's doing anything, he's right there.
While Vogler is fighting this battle, both business owners tell me they've got his back.
We're praying for you, and that we pray that he'll have full recovery and won't have any bad effects from this.
We're really praying for him, and we're going to continue to pray for him and pray that he gets through this, and look forward to him coming back through those doors and get another sandwich from Mr. Bentley.
Lee's wife, Blair, did release a statement this evening while he's getting treatment at UNC. She says Lee is a fighter and faces every obstacle in front of him with determination, courage, and an unbreakable spirit. Reporting live in Danville, Hayden Robertson, ABC 13 News.